viewers, the Congress says it is sweeping Karnataka. It is bagging, the Congress says, 150 seats, if not more, out of 224. It sees itself forming the government without anyone's help. It sees itself, viewers, as a default party of governance in Karnataka. But if it is so far ahead in the campaign, in the race, why is it acting as if it is losing all 150 seats? Indeed, today, the party president, no less, Mallikarjun Kharge, who is one of the tallest leaders of the Congress from Karnataka, fired a vicious slur, calling the Prime Minister a venomous snake who will end up killing people if they were to embrace his point of view. Now, you will agree, viewers, that this is the language of a desperado. This is not the language of the president of India's oldest party. But maybe viewers, Mr. Kharge knows something that you and I don't know. Maybe he knows that the party is clutching at straws in Karnataka and therefore is resorting to use language that is otherwise used by those who have nothing to lose. It is undignified, uncouth, says very little about your manifesto, your vision, and it is in line with the slander, with that kind of slander Rahul Gandhi dished out for the Prime Minister in Karnataka in the run-up to the 2019 general election. So we are talking about, viewers, now 5 years ago. The remark cost Gandhi his Lok Sabha membership. You know this. And today he's running from pillar to post, from court to court, trying to reinstate himself. He's even had to vacate his bungalow in Lutyens, Delhi. And now is going to be living with his mother. Now, Mallikarjun Kharge, who recently took over as Congress president, is much senior than Rahul Gandhi. He's much more experienced, has many more terms than Rahul Gandhi as Member of Parliament, and should know better than wallow in the cesspit of abuse that could actually backfire on the Congress, as it may push voters to think that the Congress has nothing substantial to say, to win over their trust. It has nothing substantial to offer. Remember, viewers, when the BJP at one time was accused of using offensive invective in the run-up to the Delhi elections, the Delhi Assembly elections. At that time, viewers, the opposition, the Congress party, and of course, the governing party, the Aam Aadmi Party, said that the BJP is betraying its desperation. Remember, viewers, when Rahul Gandhi and his mother at different points in time used invective against Modi at different points. One in 2007, the Maut Ka Saudagar remark, you'll all remember that, viewers. It galvanized the electorate in Gujarat. It backfired on the Congress. And in 2019, viewers, Chaukidar Chor hai. Rahul Gandhi would repeat it ad nauseum. What happened, viewers? And then, who can forget? Who can forget when the Congress in 2014, in particular, Manishankar Iyer, arrogantly dismissed his opponent as a neech chaiwala, leading many voters to think that the Congress has lost touch with the grassroots, the ordinary Indian, his or her aspirations. And now, drunk on power, it looks down upon them. The Congress, viewers, was severely punished, holding on to just 44 seats, its lowest tally ever. That was 2014. The BJP has, of course, hit out at the Congress, as one would expect, saying that its decision to resort to churlish name-calling of the type we heard today from Mr. Kharge is a sign of its waning fortunes in Karnataka. Whether this is true or not, it is difficult to say at this point, but the Congress is certainly on an ultra-vengeful and ultra-populist spree. Let me give you a few examples. Of course, you've heard today Mr. Kharge directing abuse at the Prime Minister. They've even filed a police complaint against Amit Shah for hate-mongering. A few days ago, it promised to bring back the Muslim quota, which still, viewers, at some level or the other, is an issue that makes people question commitment to secularism. It has promised today to hike reservations for OBCs to 75% in the state. And it is also, viewers, guilty of inducting BJP turncoat Shettar, projecting him as their poll mascot. But let's return to Kharge. In Karnataka's Gadag, the Congress chief equated the Prime Minister with a poisonous snake, saying if people taste that venom, they will die. After the remarks triggered a political war, Kharge appeared to damage control somewhat, saying his remarks were never meant for the Prime Minister personally and that he was attacking the BJP's ideology instead. Listen in to what Kharge said initially and then how he sought to distance himself, backpedaled on its remarks.
ಮೋದಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ವಿಷದ ಹಾವಿದ್ದಂಗೆ. ನೀವಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ವಿಷ ಅದ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೋಡೋಣ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೆಕ್ ನೋಡೋಣ ನೆಕ್ಕಕ್ ಹೋಗಿರಿ, ನೆಕ್ಕರು ಸತ್ತ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದು ವಿಷ ಅದಾನೋ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಮೋದಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಣ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಮಂತ್ರಿ, ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೋಡೋಣ ನೆಕ್ ನೋಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆ ವಿಷವನ್ನ ನೆಕ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಮಲಗೇ ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಲ್ಲೇ.
ಭಾರತೀಯ ಜನತಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಅದು ಒಂದೇನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಹಾವು ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಹಿಂಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ದೆ ನೆಕ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಡೆತ್ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾ ಹೇಳಿದ ಮೊದಲೇನೆ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕವಾಗಿ ನಾ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಹೇಳೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಈಗೂ ಹೇಳಿನಿ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕವಾಗಿ ಯಾರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಅಸೂಯಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಐಡಿಯಾಲಜಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯದಂಗಿದೆ. ಆ ಐಡಿಯಾಲಜಿಗೆ ನೀವು ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ನೆಕ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಡೆತ್ ಈಸ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್.
Now viewers, this was all happening on the same day when the Congress promised, as I told you, a 75% overall caste quota. It's also happening on the day when, viewers, as I told you, they filed a case against Amit Shah. This particular controversy, therefore, the decision to go down this road of invective, therefore, is going to take away from all those other populist promises and actions that the Congress is taking in hopes to extract mileage out of. The comments obviously didn't go down well with the BJP, with senior party leaders saying such statements reflect Congress's desperation ahead of polls. Seeking an apology from Kharge, senior BJP leaders said that the Congress talk of spreading love stands exposed with such hate-filled remarks. Well, viewers, with this political blame game, war of words, call it what you want, escalating to the point where it was beginning to distract from the Congress's own focus on the election, Mr. Kharge once again issued a clarification. And this time he expressed regret, saying he never intended to hurt anyone. So you see, viewers, how first he backpedaled and now he has come out and expressed regret. Listen to this.
RSS BJP ವಿಚಾರಧಾರೆ ಇದು ವಿಸ್ಕಾರಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಅವರು ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೋಲಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಖರ್ಗೆ ಅವರು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ನನ್ನ ಶಬ್ದದಿಂದ, ನನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿಕೆಯಿಂದ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ತಪ್ಪರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ, ನೋವಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ನನ್ನ ಖೇದವನ್ನು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸ್ತೇನೆ.
Now viewers, recall what the Surat court had said while it went and convicted Rahul Gandhi for making defamatory statements against Narendra Modi and handed him an unprecedentedly hard sentence. And it said that he deserved it because a member of parliament is expected to observe a higher standard of morality. Since a member of parliament, what he says has a larger impact on the public's minds. This is what was said, viewers. Higher standard of morality expected from MP, larger impact, remarks in public mind. Prima facie, judgment is well reasoned. This is what the Surat Sessions Court said. And obviously, viewers, one would have expected the Congress to have learned, but it didn't. And let's open this up tonight. And I want to bring in, straight off the bat, Vivek Bansal, senior leader of the Congress party, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, leader of the Congress, Smita Prakash, Sanju Verma. Let's open this up. And I want to ask you, Mr. Chaudhary, a very simple question. There is a certain standard now that is expected. That standard, unfortunately for you, was set by the Surat court, Mr. Chaudhary, where MPs have been cautioned against shooting their mouths off. It is said that because their words have greater resonance and an impression upon the public, they have a special duty. So I'm asking you, Mr. Chaudhary, do you think Mr. Kharge crossed the line, risked, once again, the ire of the court, risked going against the spirit of what the court said? Because the Congress has really very little to say. Is that the reason? There is no message. There's desperation.
Yeah, I understand, Rahul. First and foremost, Rahul, what the court says is a matter of education of the higher courts also. Let them decide what's better for Rahul Gandhi and the case that is concerned. But as a reputed editor and rather editor-in-chief of a national channel like Times Now, I expected a balance between Khargeji's comment and the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's comment against the Gandhi Parivar or against the Congress party over the last few years. If that is not the case, then I believe that, Rahul, it's what you call this, it's very much judgmental on your part to judge Khargeji tonight here in your studios. Because at the same time when Khargeji said was about an ideology, but what Prime Minister Narendra Modi said was like the comments like Jersey cow, hybrid calf, Congress ki vidwa, Congress bhokti hai, 50 crore girlfriend, Changes Khan's aulad, Nali ka keeda, Surpanakha, Dehati aurat, bar wali, white screen from Italy. These are all the comments. The list is long. There may be 100 and odd galis that are documented by Narendra Modi and his ecosystem against the Congress party's leaders and the party itself. But then we never cried, we never said, okay, cry baby, because the Prime Minister himself on such important issues that are plaguing the nation right now. Why is he silent on Adani? Why is he silent on the wrestlers' charges? Why is he silent on Satyapal Malik's expose? Why is he silent on the hate mongers of RSS? Why is he silent on China? Why is he silent on the caste census? Why is he silent on the Nandini? You pick and choose a particular comment and then try to propagate it. That's the propaganda that everybody is doing in the ecosystem right now. I don't have any problem. But when you do propaganda, then why not the propaganda on the basis of which the elections are being fought? You have been in power for the last so many years. What have you to show to the people of Karnataka? Why are you afraid that one Khargeji's comment insulting the Shahinshah is going to decide the fate of the election? Okay. This is not the case to be, Rahul. The case genuinely, when we delivered 5 promises to the people of Karnataka, whether we are able to deliver that on the ground or not, that should have been the debate.
Okay.
Not that it's a democratic country, anybody can say anything to anybody.
Actually not.
But then when Khargeji has apologized or given his clarification, I believe the matter should have died down then.
Look, I don't think, Mr. Chaudhary, tonight we should be advocating, because I'll tell you, yes, the other side has been, has transgressed. Now, you can look at it from that point of view and say, so whatever we say, we are justified in saying. I'm only asking you, if you have so many big questions to ask which you don't believe the media is asking, and you have so many complaints against people like me and others, Smita Prakash, other people who run the media, etc., etc., they don't ask all these questions, then Why is Mr. Kharge not asking them? He's fixated on talking about Ravan like he did in Gujarat, and you know the result. Now he's talking about, well, the Prime Minister being a snake, this, that, the other. The Congress is constantly attacking the media. It heaps invective on media figures if it's not busy attacking the Prime Minister. So, Mr. Chaudhary, I would suggest that you should advise all these things to Mr. Kharge, because the moment you shoot your mouth off like this, the media is going to ask questions, since you sort of hold yourself up to such high standards. And I'll tell you, viewers, just go back a few years, the Trump election with Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton walked out and said that Trump's voters' basket of deplorables. And she listed a whole bunch of people who vote Mr. Trump, calling them racist, homophobic, all sorts of horrible adjectives. And guess what, viewers? Just like Mani Shankar Iyer was reminded that his arrogance will not go down well with the people of India, Hillary Clinton was reminded that her arrogance would not go unpunished. And Mr. Kharge has realized that. That's why he came out and then he took it all back and expressed special regret, quote unquote. These are not my words, these are his words. Why was he expressing special regret if he realized that he has messed up? Now that's the fundamental question. And before I bring in the BJP, I want to bring in Smita Prakash. Smita Prakash, you know, you observe politics very closely. I want you to tell me, why would Mr. Kharge repeat mistakes that have been made by other Congress people, costing them the election? And some would say even, and in fact, Mr. Chaudhary, don't blame me for being remiss, because I did talk about how the BJP in the Delhi election campaign was accused of using vile words and it was punished. So these are mistakes that are committed, aren't they, Smita Prakash? Why are they committed so regularly?
Well, I think we've been watching it for quite some time now, that the political discourse has become extremely coarse, vitriolic, and I shouldn't use the word venomous today, I guess, because the entire debate is about venom, but it's hyperbolic. And the thing is that, Rahul, the technology of the media is such, whether it is you're talking about traditional media, whether you're talking about the internet space, whatever it is, politicians have realized that unless they say something scandalous, something really big, it's not going to grab eyeballs on the internet, it's not going to make news, and it's not going to hold the attention of the public in front of them, even in rallies. It never used to be in political rallies so much. It used to be on the internet, yes. But now even in political rallies, I think politicians make this when they see that the people in front of them have started scrolling on their mobiles instead of listening to the person who's speaking. So to get that attention, I think they try to be witty. They try to bring in metaphors and similes to hold the attention of the public. And in doing that, then this is what happens. So when they make contemporary references and things, and here let me say this, that I think when Mr. Kharge said this, and then later he turned around, first he made this comment and tried to walk back that, saying that I didn't mean it for the Prime Minister, I meant it for an ideology. That was really stretching it too far. I think then everybody tried to defend it, because it was so clear that he meant the Prime Minister. He said Modi is like a poisonous snake. He said, Vishada how hage. That is what he said. In Kannada, it means he is a snake. That is exactly what he said. And then in the same sentence, he turns around and he says that to test whether the snake is venomous, is poisonous or not, if you pick up, and he did it physically, he pointed and he said, you take that and you taste it, and if you taste that, then you will die. What he meant to say is that that ideology which is being served by Mr. Modi, if you take that ideology just to taste it, which means the RSS ideology, if you just try it, it's going to kill you. But he begins the sentence by saying that Modi how hage, which means Modi is a snake. That is exactly what he said. And later when he expresses regret, the reason he does that is that there is an entire listing that the Congress spokesperson did just now about all that Mr. Modi has said. But the fact is that Mr. Modi has never personally attacked Mr. Kharge. He might have attacked Shashi Tharoor, the Gandhi family, Mamta Banerjee, whoever it is, But strangely enough, Mr. Kharge and Mr. Modi have had a very genial relationship. So here, I think Mr. Kharge also realized that he went a bit too far in trying to grab that eyeballs and made a personal comment at Mr. Modi, who he's had a good relationship with, and that is why he expressed regret.
Well, let me bring in Sanju Verma. Well, expression of regret means that you've done something wrong. But Sanju Verma, there are some fundamental questions that you also need to answer, because many people say that the BJP is equally complicit. The usage of unparliamentary language, of course, the courts have said, especially by public representatives, especially members of parliament, should not be indulged. Why? Because you end up really creating the wrong impression. You have to weigh your words even more carefully. But the BJP has been guilty of following similar tactics. I mean, remember, the Congress accused the BJP, for instance, calling Rahul Gandhi Mir Jafar. So would you condemn such remarks as well by a section of BJP leaders, etc.? And there are many others.
Rahul, I'm nothing if not outright forthright. Of course, I represent the BJP on your show, and proudly so. But let me just say this. I have always maintained that when you make a comparison, there has to be a sense of proportion. And this 50 crore ki girlfriend and jersey cow, these two epithets come up every time Prime Minister is abused. People are reminded of what Prime Minister Modi said. So let's should have set the record straight once and for all. In 2004, during Advani ji's yatra, the jersey cow comment was made, and the 50 crore girlfriend comment was made in 2012. Point number one, both these comments were made well before Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister of the country. Point number two, he duly apologized. Point number three, please don't compare a Rahul Gandhi or a Renuka Chaudhary with Narendra Modi. Have some sense of proportion. Let me just tell you, some comments were made here. Dehati Aurat was never a comment made by Narendra Modi. It was made by Nawaz Sharif about Manmohan Singh, and the BJP had actually condemned Nawaz Sharif's statement that how can he use the term Dehati Aurat for the incumbent Prime Minister of the country, the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh in this case. As far as Gandhi Nali Ka Keeda, because that was the other thing that the Congress panelists mentioned. If my memory serves me right, and I tell you I have an elephantine memory, an excellent one. Tum Gandhi Nali ke keede ho, said not once, not twice, not thrice, but at least half a dozen times by Supriya Shrinesh for my colleague in a live debate, Sambit Patra. As far as Surpanakha is concerned, when Renuka Chaudhary kept tackling, kept laughing, despite the then chair of the House, Venkaiah Naidu, clearly telling her, Renuka ji, please, chupchap baith jaiye, sun lijiye, then you will have your say. She kept intervening, showing scant regard for the chair of the House and showing scant regard for the Prime Minister, no less. Prime Minister Modi said, nahi, inhe chup mat karwaiye, Ramayan ki yaad aa rahi hai. He never used the word Surpanekha. But now I will just quickly wrap up. This is not about Meri Gali versus Teri Gali, about jersey cow versus poisonous snake. This is about the most important thing being this. The Congress realizes in the last few weeks, the BJP has gained tremendous momentum. That is what on-ground reports show. Rahul, 20 seconds. And Mallikarjun Kharge is obviously rattled. For all the Congress's big talk about we standing with the poor, we standing with the marginalized, we standing with the Dalits, forget Mallikarjun Kharge. The last big Dalit leader from the Congress camp was Babu Jagjeevan Ram, who was both the defense minister at one point and the agriculture and irrigation minister at one point. Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi have completely obliterated the legacy of Babu Jagjeevan Ram. So you have no business sitting and giving a bhashan to the BJP on political propriety or about how you stand in solidarity with the poor and the marginalized. And just 10 seconds more.
Well, 1 second.
I remember when Ramnath Kovind was the president, we were also happy that for the, maybe it rarely happens.
We know that, look.
Dalit scholar, gets the highest office of the land. Sonia Gandhi took a full 22 months to even pay a courtesy visit to Ramnath Kovind. So the Congress should not sit here and give him bhashan.
Okay. So today the BJP comes out and says that, look, the Congress is desperate, it's losing, and therefore it's resorting to all of this. Would it say that about some of its own politicians who have gone out there and used some ineffable words against their opponents? That's the fundamental question I asked Sanju Verma. Didn't get the clearest answer from you, Ms. Verma. Usually you're much firmer to say that I condemn anyone who uses invective on us.
I condemn anyone who uses bad language and makes no bones about it.
Okay, that's good. That's good, because regret is very important, viewers. I want to bring in one second, setting the record straight. 1 second. So therefore, I want to bring in Mr. Bansal very quickly. Mr. Bansal, look, the idea today is to focus on the issue. The Congress has learnt by making these mistakes several times in the past, when it has allowed the narrative to be hijacked by a loose comment. So I'm asking you, sir, all these populist decisions that are being taken suddenly, to reverse the quota, to say that, look, we will come back with a Muslim quota, that we will promise 75% caste quota to all the people. Is this sign now of panic in the Congress camp? Losing, let's throw these out there. Let's try to pretend, as Sanju Verma says, that we are, pro this denomination and that denomination. And also, while we are at it, fire a few salvos at the Prime Minister, because we're again losing. He's not even in the campaign right now. So what does this tell you?
Rahul, let me just, you referred to this issues which Congress is addressing at the moment, reservation of the minorities or caste reservation. Let me just ask if certain quota of a certain community has been removed recently and they are irked by that, and if the party in election is addressing their grievances, I don't see there should be any reservation on that or any strictures passed on that. And as far as caste reservation is concerned, this has been a tradition in Karnataka. And so if we are going by if you say that it is a panic pattern, we are not very confident. And let me tell you, I put it on record, and for once for all, that we are winning Karnataka hands down. And secondly,
then stick to the message.
All this broha which had been going on.
Okay, Smita Prakash wants to respond to you. Mr. Bansal, listen to her. Smita Prakash wants to respond to you. Yes.
This isn't a question, sir, about who's winning or who's losing. I think who's losing is political discourse, is civilized tone is being lost. I think the extreme language used by all politicians in every election. And what has happened is that there is no discussion, there is no debate, there is only disruption which is happening, whether it is in parliament or whether at political rallies, in any kind of politics that is happening. And I think you are writing the rules. Politicians are writing the rules that they will cause disruption and get into the media space just by using abusive language. And I think all political parties are to blame. I'm not saying just you. So let's not talk about winning.
Right.
I think it is democracy which is losing.
Okay, 1 second. Let's bring in. 1 second. Let me bring in. 1 second, Mr. Bansal.
Because she was answering to my what I had said. It was not that. You see, when you are talking about, definitely there has to be some semblance of sanity in our discourses or whatever in our election.
So why are you losing your sanity? What is the trigger for it?
No. Rahul, let me say, you tend to catch each and every word. There is certain thing known as metaphorical language.
So I'll tell you, no, there's no metaphor here, sir. This is a direct attack, and now he's apologized. At least he's had the decency which you are not.
Mr. Kharge realized
okay, please appreciate.
And he apologized.
He apologized, and he apologized because he realized that this would distract from the messaging. The fundamental question, Mr. Jain, is why is the Congress suddenly diverting from the message? Have you once again conveyed the wrong message? I mean, you went with this corruption message. Is it finding no traction? What's happening? Because now that he said it, the BJP will react, and this will become a larger debate, moving away from the issues you want to raise already tonight. Here is a case in point. We're not talking about, this corruption and that corruption. Now we're talking about the corruption of our politics, Mr. Jain.
So Rahul, you gave my answer in your question itself, that it's not the Congress that's deviating from the issues that it's bringing to forth, be it corruption, be it the welfare schemes. It is the BJP which is trying to deviate the issue. The BJP knows that they're losing. They know that their double engine combined has no model for development, no model for justice, no model for growth. They don't have any answers to how Mr. Bommai has ran his government. They don't have a credible opposition to the duo of DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah. They know they're not winning this election. That is why they want to rack every single comment made by a Congress leader, be it the Congress president, and make it into such a big crime that is
Jain,
done.
Are you
Mr.
disagreeing with me? You're an advocate, sir.
A slew of comments.
So let me remind you what the Supreme
himself.
Court had said. Now, one second. Look, let me be very honest. Here, the first stone has been thrown by Mr. Kharge. He's no ordinary leader. He's the president of your party. He sets the tone for the Congress's campaign. Okay, so now listen to me. You're an advocate. You should certainly be aware of this. The Supreme Court in 2018 had a stern message for all netas. I'm not saying BJP, I'm not saying Congress. This came in the context of language that was used by a BJP MLA, O.P. Sharma, against Arvind Kejriwal in 2018. Okay, so I'm being very specific here. And the Supreme Court had said that you shall not insult top constitutional functionaries like the Chief Minister or Prime Minister just because they are not a political party. Today, such derogatory language is being used for a CM. Tomorrow, it will be used for a Prime Minister. The Supreme Court apprehended this. You cannot insult PM and CM just because they are not from your political party. People must show respect for them. Even otherwise, what has the CM got to do with it? This is irresponsible. Tell your supporters not to do that, etc. Again, these same words could be applied in this context. Now, Mr. Jain, the Supreme Court, and I've told you, even the Surat Court in its wisdom
Rahul,
has drawn a Lakshman Rekha. The Congress, being the oldest political party, has an obligation. Does it not? Or does it want to become indistinguishable from any other political party? It's your choice.
Rahul, I think everybody on the panel, including yourself, agrees that coarse language is not the way to go in politics. And I completely agree with Ms. Prakash's principle-based point that politics today has gotten really coarse. The words that are being used are not good.
But why?
The problem that I have is that whenever Congress leader making a statement that's possibly not the most humble statement, we conveniently go around talking about it on news debates, even when the Congress leader has expressed his regret for causing hurt to somebody. But when the Prime Minister goes around saying Didi, oh Didi, or 100 crore ki
now viewers again, we have a problem
horribly
here.
shallow things.
Again, as I told you.
Apologize.
Okay, Mr. Jain, Mr. Jain, these questions. No, one second. I need to move on.
I don't want to engage in whataboutery.
Okay, don't engage in whataboutery. Call it out for what it is. And let's hope. Okay, let's hope for the sake of the viewers out there.
This language is not good for politics.
1 second.
It's not. But who started the ball?
Mr. Jain, hold it now. I just hope, viewers, both of you, 1 second. I just hope that this campaign doesn't descend now, viewers, into the gutter. Because in the gutter, there is nothing redeeming to be found for either one of us. Any voter out there. Your issues are not in the gutter, viewers. Your issues deserve billing. Punish those who divert the attention, as you have in the past, from the main issues that you want addressed, that you want the focus on. Don't let these politicians change the goalposts, viewers. This is a slap across your face. I need to move on.